Greetings once again. Today I hope to just spend a few minutes with you explaining a certain few facts that very few people know about. In fact, what's going on is a conspiracy across the United States. Many other countries are not allowing these things to be fed to their people. But if you take a look at most any canned item, boxed item, even your breads. I had discussed on a video I did yesterday here about the Al-Yahnai or something of that sort. Anyway, I'll list it. I'll put the name down in the description as I did the other video. But it starts with an L dash and it's a Cyrene or something of that sort, Cistrine or something. It's actually hair from corpses in China where they shave the dead and they sell the hair so they can put it into your bread and your food products. But that just makes you a cannibal. Now, as far as being fat, overweight, sick, ill and afflicted, full of diseases, things of that sort. Now, there are some things you're not going to get cured from. If you've been out there and fornicating and committing adultery, and you got some kind of sexually transmitted disease that there's no cure for, I'm not even going to try to help you out on that one. That you have to work out with the Creator. But as far as everything else, if you're overweight, you don't know why, you're trying to diet, well, you take a look at those diet foods. For the most part, they're going to have the same poisons and the same drugs added to them as you find throughout your stores. The way to combat that is stop eating these things. If it doesn't just say beans and water or beans, water, and salt, I don't really like the salt part, but sometimes I can't get away from that. If it doesn't say tomatoes or tomatoes and salt or tomatoes and water, if it's got this sodium chloride, if it's got calcium, whatever, if it's got phosphates, if it's got any chemical name in it, stop eating it. It's not for your temple. It's not for your holy body. But what I'd like to explain to you is if you're overweight and you'd like to lose weight, well, all you got to do is make yourself some sauerkraut. This is what I brought out of my fridge, and all you have to do first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, grab yourself a forkful like this. Eat it. Finish eating your breakfast, whatever. Oatmeal is really great, but you got to be careful. A lot of these breakfast foods and things, they are putting phosphates, phosphorus, all kinds of nasty ingredients into them that will pack on the weight. It's killing you, okay? You're killing yourself eating these foods. But if you were to eat sauerkraut, and this is kimchi that I made homemade too, there's plenty of places online that you could look up for sauerkraut. It's so simple. All you have to do is take cabbage. You can put carrots in there if you want, some of your harder vegetables, beetroots or whatever, shave them, put them in there, and take a little bit of pickling and canning salt. Don't use table salt. That crap is killing you too. It's got chemicals that are added to that, so when you eat it, it doesn't dissolve in your body. Now, if you've got salt in your cells, you can't get radiation poisoning from what science is saying, because the salt is the spot that the radiation will take place, hold of your cell with, if you don't have salt in that area to keep it out. Otherwise, radiation just passes on through. Now, the way to make the sauerkraut, like I said, is you take a little bit of, and look it up on the web. I'm just giving you a quick prelude so that you know what you're looking for. A simple recipe. You just take layers of cabbage and whatever, about that thick, and you put a little bit of pickling and canning salt on top of it. You put another layer, a little more pickling, canning salt. You wait for 15, 20 minutes, and then go in and wreak out all your vengeance upon that cabbage. Just beat it and twist it and crunch it and call it names if you got to, but make sure they're nice names, because what you're putting into your food also comes from the frequency of your mouth. Our Creator created the heavens and the earth with let there be light, and then he said other things, and they came forth as well. Now, as far as your foods and such, be nice around them. Don't cuss, okay? Use words like love and gratitude and thankfulness, and your food will actually taste better. But after you get your sauerkraut, okay, your cabbage crunched up really well, you'll have a bunch of liquid in there, and you just put it into your jar. Now, what I do with a jar this size is I'll take me a quart-size baggie, and I'll open it up and I'll stick it down on the inside because I only fill it up about to here when I make it. And then I'll stick the baggie down inside and I'll fill it with water, and that'll make a nice tight seal around here. And I put this in a bowl and I leave it on my counter for 3 days. And I'll taste it, along the way to where I get the ferment out of it that I like. Now what this does for you, it gets into your intestines and it'll start cleaning you out. I do highly recommend that you do a colon cleanse. Some of these other cleanses too, Dr. Schultz has some really great products to help you out with the cleansing. But after you're cleansed, and even before, if you can start today, don't buy the canned sauerkraut unless it's just cabbage and salt, okay? And it's not been homogenized, pasteurized, that sort of thing. You want the living enzymes, the living probiotics in there, because what they do is they'll get into your intestines, through your stomach. If you got ulcers and things of that sort, if you eat the sauerkraut and kimchi, and the kimchi's got a little bit of spice, you can tone it down however you want. They've got recipes for that. I also have recipes for, these are not pickles, but these are cucumbers that are in a brine water. They're fermented, and I cut them into quarters. You cut the ends off each cucumber a little bit, and you slice them if you want. You can put them in whole, and then you put them into a brine water made with the canning and pickling salt, and you let them ferment the same way for about 3 or 4 days on your counter, depending how you like it. Then put them in the fridge. These pickles won't last as long as sauerkraut, though. The pickles may last you a month or 2, but you get eaten on them. You'll really enjoy these things. And if you're really hot during the day, grabbing yourself a forkful of sauerkraut, I guarantee you, it will help cool you down. It will put your mind in the right perspective, because what it's doing is it's killing off, it's eating up a whole lot of the candida that's inside you. That's what's making you overweight. That's what's making you obese for the most part, is the overgrowth of the candida. They take over your mind. They tell you to put all these sweets and things into your body. And when you first start taking the sauerkraut, your body may have a reaction. But remember, it's the candida inside of you. It's most likely in your brain already, clouding your thoughts. And you think you're perfectly fine as you are. And if you do, go with what you got going. Just take a look and read the newspapers. We got more and more in the obituaries, from people dying, don't even know why. I'll tell you, it's from your foods. FDA is not your friend. The medical association's not your friend. Okay, they're putting drugs, they're putting poisons in your food. Drugs you can't even get without a prescription. They're putting into your food. So every time you open a can of food, or you open a package and you eat bread or fried pie or whatever it is, you're just adding more and more of these chemicals every time you bite. And the way they have them proportioned out there, you'll see some that's got, like if you get a chicken McNugget over there at McDonald land there, okay, they give you a nugget, about that thick, like that, and about 10% of that might be chicken, and all the rest is chemicals and whatever natural flavors make it taste right. Now, if you got vitamin C in any products, I say get rid of it. Okay, FDA many years ago had a real problem with people having vitamin C because it would heal them. And they were going to war against the people wanting to make it unlawful for anybody to have vitamin C unless you got a prescription from your doctor, your sorcerer, your friendly neighborhood wizard. Okay? But then what occurred is once they realized that corn has a lot of vitamin C, so they started making GMO corn and taking vitamin C from it, as well as the high fructose corn syrups, things of this sort. It's all GMO. They put it there to sterilize your children, okay, because they're wanting to depopulate the earth. It's a whole lot easier for these reptilians, and the greedy men to be able to control the people if there's a lot less people to control. So what they're doing is they're systematically killing us off. You don't know that it's there because they're telling you that these things are fine. Oh, the phosphates, you need them in your body. Sure, you do need phosphates, but you need natural phosphates and not the phosphates that come from chemical derivatives, or they're broken down in such ways that they're harmful. but they disguise these things in your food. You eat them, you get fat, you get diabetes, you get heart problems, all sorts of things. Eat turmeric, eat curcumin. It's an extract from turmeric. And this is just this simple. Eat it several times a day, first thing on an empty stomach. Go to bed at night. Take a forkful. It won't do you any harm. It's the best thing you ever had. And I guarantee you're going to start losing weight here. You'll see within a month's time. If you decide to do this in a week's time, your head's going to clear up. And you're going to see what you're doing for your body. You're going to love it. And then when you get rid of all the poisons out of your food and you start eating the things that are proper and made for you to eat, and these things store well. They really do. And boy, I'll tell you what, very delicious. And I can't wait to hear about your result. Let me know. Oh, so great.